Hey everyone, welcome back to the analysis. It's been a while. Today's episode, we're sitting down with Ingrid Riley, the founder of Silicon Carib, to talk about her experience with using Amazon in Jamaica. Let's get into it. Right. Well,
Yeah,
Ingrid, thanks so much for joining the show. Happy to have you back. I enjoy talking to you about Silicon Carib
yeah.
and everything you have going on. So this was much needed. Happy New Year. Happy 2024.
Yes, yes, yes. Thank you for having me again. And yeah, so it's a good start to a good year, I think.
I love it. So tell me a little bit just about your experience recently with Amazon in Jamaica. I was so fascinated because it's something I've been curious about for a long time. I'm like, when is this coming?
Well, listen, it's there have been kind of like whispers of it. You kind of hang out with certain people in the industry, like, yeah, you know about that place in Clarendon? Yeah, that's supposed to be a logistics hub thing. And so and so and so and so have bought land in that area, or so and so is coming, and you're like, really? And so what triggered me actually was that I saw an Amazon Prime van somewhere in Kingston. I can't remember where it was. And I was like, they're here. And so I just kind of ignored it because I tweeted it out and people were like, oh no, we saw him too. He says he just bought it secondhand and imported it. So no, that's not the case. He's going to paint it over. I was like, okay, so I filed that away. And then on December 27th, I went online to buy some stuff. And it popped up as like, oh, we detect that you're located in Kingston, Jamaica. Do you want to shop here? And I was like, well, my default is always to my rocket ship freight forwarder service. And so I was like, oh, let me see what's going on here. And so I just kind of like followed it through. And then what really kind of piqued my interest was that after I had selected what I wanted, um, then it says, oh, give us your either passport or TRN so that we can do custom clearance. I was like, what the ass going on here? Right? I was like, I chipped into my really serious Trini and I was like, hold on a second. So again, I gave them my the front the picture page of your passport. It uploaded it, it accepted it, went on. And then it calculated based on the total there that I did not have to pay any custom fees or any taxes. But I said, let me try something. So I added another item and it went over the government allotted 50 US dollars that allows you to get in duty free of any product you bought online. And immediately it calculated the customs duties. And I was like, excuse me, what's going on here? This is not here before. They've never when I shop on Amazon, I've never asked for my location and to have it directly delivered to Jamaica. They didn't ask for never asked for my ID for customs clearance. They've never calculated correctly anything over $50, they correct, they calculate the customs duties. And then of course they added the local shipping and handling, and which they call global international delivery or something like that, Amazon Global Delivery. And so when I did that, I was like, oh, well, let me click and see what happens. And so it gave me like a delivery window of 2 weeks, which Amazon tend to give you like a window of like this close or this far away. So I was like, okay, from January 4th to January 16th, that's a possibility. And I just left it. And then a couple days later, I saw an email and I was like, oh, DHL says your package is going to be delivered January 4th through DHL. This is the way bill, etc., etc. So, and I waited, and so it came. I took a picture. I was like, oh, this is interesting. It came, exactly 1 week for my bought it online. And so I was like, is this a thing? And so I kind of wrote a story about it. I said, hey, I don't know about anybody else, but this is what happened to me. And the responses that I got, they're like, holy crap. One, I'm going to be broke now because now I can get shit delivered to my directly to my door. But does it work for everything? So I wrote a very detailed account of my experience and asking certain questions and showing people with screenshots what happened, what they asked for, what to look for and that kind of thing. And so people are like, oh, this is beautiful. Thank you for this. And people have been trying it and different things and asking a bunch of questions. Like it literally, I haven't checked yet, but it was like maybe like over 50,000 views in terms of what's going on with Amazon, because Amazon is the #1 e-commerce site that Jamaicans go to. Second to them is eBay. So we're Jamaicans, we like our foreign things, and so we're willing to spend money on that, whether to get it here quicker or get it here through a recognized brand. And so yeah, that single article has taken on a life of its own. So that's been my experience. I had it, I wrote about it. I'm now answering a bag of questions from a bunch of people. So yeah.
I mean, it's amazing, and you'll definitely have to keep trying it and letting us know how it goes.
Yeah.
Uh,
I realize it doesn't work for certain products. Like certain products don't ship to Jamaica. And so you're gonna have to use your usual freight forwarder to do that. I was getting some stuff yesterday, and two of the 10 items do not ship directly to Jamaica. So I say, you know what? I'll just send everything to Rocket Ship. Because I didn't want to break up my thing there, even though it was going to get here sooner. But it was not a glaring need that I needed it right now. I can wait the usual whatever time it is, which is why I told people that as you try things with Amazon, you have to do your own time cost benefit analysis in terms of what is great for you or what is not great for you. So yeah.
Yeah, it sounds like, and I was thinking, sitting here thinking, I think this is one of the things we talked about in the last podcast is, I was wondering about when Amazon would
Yeah.
finally pop up in Jamaica.
Mm.
Do you think this is mostly for Kingston at this point? Because I'm trying to figure out,
No,
okay.
I don't think it's for Kingston. I think wherever it is, because if DHL is their selected local last mile delivery partner, then DHL goes island wide. And so I mean, just like when I'm in New York and I order some stuff, it's either DHL, UPS, or FedEx, whoever it is that I guess works that area, or they have a collaborative deal with. And so I believe it's nationwide. So we'll see. Yeah.
Very good. Yeah, because I was wondering for like the rural areas where my family is mostly from, St.
Yeah.
Elizabeth, it's probably a little different. But I was also thinking, how cool would it be for drones to be able to deliver things, which Amazon has tested out in places like Texas here. So I'm
Mhm.
wondering if they'll test out drone delivery in Jamaica soon as well. But
Hmm.
was there an announcement or anything? I mean, was this kind of just
No,
like hush hush?
no, there's no announcement or anything. And I just believe that this is my own connecting the dots. We'll see if I connected them correctly or not, right? So last year in Q4 last year, I believe, the Minister of Finance announced that current $50 duty-free allowance that every individual gets to buy things online and have it brought in will be doubled to $100. And of course, when that happened, everybody's like, buy more things. And so yeah, so I believe that those two things may be going together very well, because that announcement was made Q4 last year. It comes into full effect April this year, which is of course when the government they read the annual budget and they talk about different things regarding the economy. So it comes into effect in April this year. So it would sounds like are those two things linked? Because for Amazon.com to have within their system or $50 limit for Kingston for Jamaica, and be able to calculate it. And then of course they're asking for or TRN, which is even the phrase TRN is local to Jamaica, and even accepting your passport. That is already in their system. So I find it pretty interesting as to why they're choosing now. Then, of course, there are other little bits and pieces of information that I gather, like, well, he's moving Jeff Bezos himself, the founder of Amazon, he has moved to Miami. Yes, his girlfriend is Latina, yeah, and they love Miami, but they've also bought 50,000 square foot of space there. So they're clearly, possibly in my head, getting me ready to pay attention to the Caribbean and Latin America. Who knows? And then there's another piece about the Jamaica as a logistics hub and us moving more into that, especially in one section of the island that will have another airport and a sea and a seaport to bring things in, and of course be able to distribute from there to the rest of the island. So I'm just kind of gathering these pieces of information and connecting the dots, and we'll see if I connect them correctly or not. But it's kind of interesting that just when the minister announced that, boom, this thing pops up on Amazon that was not there before, to me anyway. And then a lot of people, I mean, literally hundreds and thousands of people say, yeah, that I never had that before. So we'll see what happens.
I'm over here coughing. I'm sorry, Ingrid.
It's all right.
Yeah, so no, that is interesting. And yes, Miami is another growing tech hub with Bezos and all the other tech gurus
Yeah.
in that area now. Uh, for people who may not understand what is going on with the duty-free minimum maximum,
Mm.
how do you explain that to people who aren't from the island?
Okay, so we are a nation of almost 3 million people. And we have, of course, a diaspora that's almost more than that 3 million people in the, I mean diaspora, like expats or second or third generation Jamaicans who live in the United States, UK, and Canada, or all around the world. And so we have always had a proclivity of buying things online or bringing things in when we land via plane. When you actually come through the airport, you have an allotment of up to 500 US dollars that you can be allowed in terms of goods for free, right? Without attracting duty. Online, that's 50, which is ridiculous, right? People actually wanted $500 as a duty-free thing here. So in other words, when you go online, I think just like in America, you may have Florida has different taxes from, say, New York taxes or from DC taxes. It's the same thing with us. We have a nationwide limit where each individual can go online and buy goods and have it come in, delivered, whether by air, sea, or whatever it is, come in to them duty-free or customs duty-free for no more than $50. So if it goes over $50, you're charged a certain percentage based on the product. There are some items that are duty-free. I can't remember some of them. I think maybe some have to do with health or beauty. They may come in duty-free, and I can't recall that right now, but that's the limit. And so doubling that limit makes it easier for a Jamaican to go on Amazon, eBay, or whatever it is, and maybe buy more things, and having those products not attract custom duty fees or taxes, what do you want to call them. And so a lot of Jamaicans are very happy about that because we have a massive love of buying things online. And we live on an island, not everything is available here. I mean, we do have a range of things that are available here, like most cities around the States, but sometimes it's the things run out, there's a supply chain issue, or maybe just the local brands here just simply choose not to carry it. So, and again, there's no one city or no one nation that has all the stores and all the things that they need. So they go online and get the stuff that they need. And so you will see, I'm sure there's going to be an increase in what we buy online for sure, because based on, I wrote the piece for siliconcarib.com, that's my Caribbean tech blog. And I gave some information here that you can read, but I'll pop it out right now. That electronics, fashion, personal care products, furniture and homeware, hobby stuff, what they call hobby and leisure products, are the top things that Caribbean people or Jamaican people are buying online when they go to Amazon or eBay or Walmart. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens there, especially in tandem with our remittances. And we have the second largest remittance market, only second to Haiti. We're talking about billions of US dollars of money sent from primarily the United States to family here in Jamaica. And so even when I was writing it, I was talking to some friends of mine and I said, oh, this is beautiful. I can go on Amazon, buy some things for my son and have it sent directly to him without him having to go someplace to collect the money and then have to go to another place to go and buy the things. So it's going to disrupt the freight forwarding industry for sure, because there are like 60 odd of them here, primarily in Kingston and Jamaica, Kingston and St. Andrew. So it's going to be interesting times over the next 6 months for sure, and I'm looking forward to it.
Now I'm gonna test it out. I'm gonna try to send something to St.
Yes.
Elizabeth and see what
Yes.
happens. So I will definitely
Yes,
take.
send me, let me see. Send me, go ahead. Since you're rolling in DC,
Yeah, I'm gonna try it. I'm gonna
yeah,
try to send something to St. Elizabeth. I'll tell you how long it takes. Now it's not ideal that it takes 2 weeks, like you said, but I mean, this
no,
is
but that's what they say. But for me, it was delivered within a week.
oh, that's pretty good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
within a week.
And
So
Prime
we'll
would be nice, but yes, that is still pretty good.
that's interesting. If can you imagine if they were to unleash Prime globally and have the ability to say, hey, your freight forwarders deliver your stuff to you in 2 weeks, we'll do it in 5 days. Oh, game changer. But even just having this ability to, as you said, you're probably going to go online and test it out and buy some things from for your family who are outside of the city center. Then let me know how that goes for sure.
Now, the hard part, now that I think about it, and I'm thinking how I would test it out, is a lot of the homes don't really have addresses. It's more like a P.O. box, Santa Cruz, St. Elizabeth.
Mm.
Especially my grandmother. Every time I've ever tried to send her anything, it's P.O. Box Burnt Ave. So
That's going to be interesting because
yeah.
the question we should be asked and then is how has DHL, UPS, FedEx been delivering those packages? Is it that they've found a way, because everybody has to give their phone number to call them and have them guide them in terms of exactly where they are, or is this a case where maybe delivering them to the local post offices? Is it a case where now it creates a glaring need and a potential business opportunity for a startup to set up distribution centers that they can come and drop things? You have your own, your own thing there. You can go there securely and pick up the stuff. So it's creating some interesting questions and highlighting some potential business opportunities for sure.
Yeah, I actually worked with Amazon last summer on like producing
Really?
videos. Yeah, just
Okay.
producing videos about they're called delivery service partners, DSPs.
Yep.
So that's what you're alluding to is that they're pretty much you're your own entrepreneur. You pick up, deliver packages, you hire workers to pick up and deliver packages. And so I'm sure what you're saying is essentially we're going to start seeing more DSPs, delivery service partners with Amazon now popping up, helping to deliver those packages because they're familiar with the area.
Well, yeah, we'll see. Or maybe DHL or whoever it is that they've had arrangements with will do that. So we'll see what happens over time for
Yeah.
sure. Yeah.
So yeah, that is it really interesting, really neat.
Mhm.
Really excited to see what happens here. But what are your favorite shipping, delivering services so far besides Amazon on the island? The thing that people don't understand, that people are probably like, who aren't familiar with Jamaica, they're probably like, why is this so exciting that Jamaica has Amazon? Shouldn't they already have had Amazon? But no, Jamaica sometimes it takes a little while for the tech to catch up.
Yeah, and the thing is that it's definitely not for our desire for it, is the fact that Amazon um may see Jamaica, the Caribbean, as a really small market. America is a huge market. It has 330 million people. Other parts of the world, has other markets as well. So much larger markets. So it's a matter of, I think, okay, well, maybe maybe there's some level of maturity in the current markets that they operate in, and they're seeking new paths to revenue. And while Jamaica, I keep telling people, while Jamaica or the Caribbean may be small in terms of numbers, we pack a hell of a punch in terms of how we spend. And so this is why I alluded to the remittances market, which is a number of billions of dollars. And yes, that compared to other markets is still small, but it's still a very significant market. And it's a good market to have if you're a business like Amazon or eBay or Walmart. So, and again, remember, we are 3 million here, but remember also too, we have 3 million, especially in the United States as well. So you're pretty much influencing and connecting the US diaspora with their friends and family here. And that's 6 million people and then some. So the multiplier effect of actually moving into the Jamaican market is still nothing to sneeze at, at least in my opinion anyway. So yeah.
And one more time, Ingrid, just your favorites besides Amazon before their arrival. What were you doing?
Oh, I was just using Rocket Ship. There are a bunch of them. One of the pioneers of delivery service partners or freight forwarders is Mail Pack. They've been around. I think they were one of the first ones. And then now we have 63 other brands that have popped up, and some of them have definitely not just focused on Kingston and Jamaica or the other largest parish, which is St. Catherine. They know that there's a glaring need for rural Jamaica. And so some have set up in Montego Bay, some have set up in Ochiris on the coast. Some have even gone into St. Elizabeth there, especially for the grocery deliveries. So I use Rocket Ship, and that's who I've been using. And are they perfect? No. But they are led by a young tech entrepreneur. I like to support small businesses. And so as they grow, I believe that they'll get even better than what they're doing right now. But Rocket Ship is a favorite, and there are a ton of others. And so they I think primarily compete on service delivery and price right now. And so we'll see what happens in the circle. But yeah, I prefer Rocket Ship because of their drop off, their locations are close to where I live. So even if I don't want to go pick it up, they can deliver to me real quick. So yeah.
That's neat. So the final few minutes here, Ingrid. So just to recap, essentially that you can't spend more than $50 because if you spend more than $50, then you got to go through customs. Is that right?
No, if you spend more than $50, it's gonna attract custom duty fees.
Okay.
And it's okay in paying that because when I buy stuff on Nike.com or Adidas.com, those sneakers are over $50. So when I when I use Rocket Ship, they're the ones who then do the whole dealing with customs. And then when I go to pick up my stuff, they'll say, okay, well, these are our fees for bringing it in per pound or delivery, whatever it is. And then these are the custom duty fees. Sometimes I'm like, sir or ma'am, that's incorrect. Where y'all get this from? So
you gotta make it up. We make up.
Yeah, don't make up. And then how come all of a sudden the Amazon product or the Nike product is £3, but when you bring it in, it's 6? Did it gain weight on the flight over? I don't know what's going on. So there's sometimes you have to look through your stuff with these freight forwarders and question certain things, but they handle all of the custom stuff, and they whatever they say that whatever prices or whatever duty fees that the customs give them, they simply pass that on to the consumer. So it's gonna be interesting as to how they navigate these things recently. But yeah, but if you spend over $50, is going to do. So if you want to continue to go ahead and do so, you're gonna have to pay for shipping anyway. So yeah.
And so the custom duty fees will vary, is what I'm assuming.
It varies based on the cost of the thing. Once it goes up over $50, there's a percentage fee. I do not know the details. I should actually go and get them. Be more ulfy about that. But there's a percentage based on the cost of the product and also the type of product, because there are some products that are in fact duty free.
So do you think this is gonna replace barrels? Because people love sending barrels. I mean,
Yeah, no, I don't think it's going to replace barrels because I mean there are even some brands out here that um pack a barrel and that kind of a thing. And, like we have no, what are they called? Grocery List Jamaica that packs barrels for and send them to people here as well. And so I don't think it will replace because barrels are huge, yeah. Uh,
mhm.
and that's a lot of stuff in there. So I don't know. We'll see because we all know too that Amazon likes to play in the market differently. They will come in and they'll see how people are using things and or maybe what they're demanding or what they're questioning, and they'll tweak. So there's no if it's worth their while, they'll definitely change things because oh if they see that there's value in focusing on groceries and delivering groceries to Jamaica, and they're going to make money, they're going to do that. If they're going to if they're thinking that okay, well, these little packaging things are not going to not going to make it, then we're going to have to do the whole barrel thing. They may respond to our cultural nuances because there are other companies that are locally made in Jamaica that are doing just that, and that barrel business is huge.
Mm,
It's
yeah,
seasonal, but it's huge.
it is.
Yeah.
And no offense, but people always criticize customs in Jamaica. They don't really
It's not the
believe in it.
most transparent and it's not the most what's the word? I'll just say it. It's not the most corruption free. It's not the most transparent, it's not the most understood, it's not the most efficient either. And so
Ugh,
that's us clarity. And especially my Twitter followers and some people who I follow, they go in on customs. It's like customs need to be completely
yeah,
redesigned,
yeah.
reimagined. And of course, the minister says that he's planning on doing so too. So we're like, all right, do your thing. Let's see how that rolls because we know you all need revenue and
Yeah.
we want to pay. But here's the other thing too. Here's something why maybe why Amazon will not work for some people, or they may not want to use Amazon
Hmm.
because of that anti-custom duty scenario and people not having trust in that custom process. People doctor their invoices because as part of the whole freight forwarder service, when you ship to their mailbox in Miami and they're bringing it in, you have to upload the invoice to state this is the product and this is how much money it is. There are too many people that I know who are like 49.97. And we all know that's not the case based on the product, but that's what the invoice says. So they have to
Yeah,
honor the
fair.
fact that it's under $50. And I'm sure we're not unique with this in Jamaica. I'm sure it happens across the world as well. So, but I think once customs become a little bit more seamless and understood and trusted and efficient, then I do not believe that Jamaicans will have a problem paying for their things on a fairly on a fair basis. So there's interesting things to happen, I think. So yeah.
It has to be fair. It has to be
It
fair.
has to be fair, man. It has to be
That's
fair.
that's the only way people will trust it. That's the only way Amazon will succeed. Um,
Absolutely.
so hopefully, it works out with that everybody is on the same page, same team. They want to play to win when it comes to
Absolutely.
tech. So yeah. So overall, it sounds like there's some good pros there. Just a few cons. But I'm sure that's with anything when you're trying to iron out the details.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
How it will work. So
So
that is exciting, Ingrid. Thanks so much for sharing because I don't even think, there's with no announcement, no one probably would have known if you didn't say
yeah,
something.
exactly. And I did say, I said, hey, is this new to me? And I'm just late to the party. Well, people are like, no, we didn't know. We've always been doing this way. We're going to test whatever it is. And some people test it and they're like, no, I'm going to stay with my freight forwarder because those taxes and
Yeah.
that duty free, yeah, we're gonna stay with them. And others are like, yo, this is fantastic. I could get this stuff directed to my house. So again, that whole time cost benefit analysis that you have to do. But at least guess what? The consumer has more choice. And
Yes.
that's what tech beautifully does when it really, really, really works. So yeah.
Options.
Yeah.
Options are so
Options,
necessary.
man. Options
Yeah.
are a beautiful thing. Beautiful thing.
Yes. So many, and you know what I liked what you said about what types of things people are ordering. They're ordering tech gadgets. There are a lot of gadgets
Yep.
on Amazon. Some made in China. A lot of them, access to tech all across the world at a lower price. There are so many different gadgets on Amazon.
And eBay, because
Oh,
I have a bunch of friends who are in tech, they get a lot of certified used laptops, phones, whatever it is. And so they buy them and in bulk and bring them in or just buy them, put them themselves. So we're always looking for a good deal. So wherever you find a good deal, you just get a good deal. So yeah.
but it will be interesting to see who this cuts out, because somebody is always a middleman is always cut out once there's some type of innovation like this. Um,
Absolutely.
so we'll be interested to see which stores close and which stay open. Jamaicans who sell goods and rely on importing and exporting, they're gonna have to
Yep.
really step it up in terms of what they're importing and exporting now.
Absolutely. And especially when that custom duty allowance goes up in April to the $100, because that's gonna really spark something. So without question, there are a couple of freight forwarders that will go out of business. There are a couple of stores that may shut down as well because people can now able to do certain things themselves and have it delivered to their yard, right? And so, but I think we'll create some opportunity as well because that whole thing of talking about you said earlier, where is your grandma or your grandaunt gonna get? Because they don't have a regular street address. How are they gonna get their stuff?
Look for
Is
the
it by
yellow house
phone
next to the that's
to
how
the
they're gonna
breadfruit
talk to you.
tree?
Yeah,
To the
look for the
breadfruit
yellow hose
tree?
on the corner. That's how they're gonna be talking to you and telling you. I would prefer a drone. It just, the drone may be able to figure it out a lot faster.
Yeah, I don't know about the drone thing though.
You don't think it will work?
I no, it's not even foolproof in the States now, Anna-Lysa.
Yeah.
So I think it needs to work out some more kinks in those bigger markets first, maybe, and then come here. But I think a network of drop boxes in places that the post offices are not there or they're not being efficient, I think could be a potential opportunity. But yeah, we'll see what happens. But it's to me it's quite interesting that um, Amazon has chosen to do this, and now the timing of it is rather curious for me. So yeah,
Oh, this was fun, Ingrid. Always a good time. Thanks for
thank
coming
you,
on.
Deanna.
Appreciate you. I hope Kingston is warm and sunny. We got a little rain this morning here.
I
And
hear it's been blizzard and snowy. All my friends with in from New York down to Atlanta, they're like, yeah, we wish we were in Kingston right now. I was like, I know, I
I
know,
know.
I know.
Every time I talk to you, I say I'm gonna go to Kingston more. I did visit Kingston when I came. I saw one of my sisters. Um,
Yes.
that was nice. But anyways, we'll talk soon.
Yeah, man.
Really appreciate this.